From my blood, come the prince that was promised, and his will be the song of ice and fire.
Our story begins over a century before the conquest, with House Targaryen, one of the few noble families to survive the doom of Valyria. The Targaryens settled on Dragonstone, a volcanic island located off the eastern coast of Westeros. They brought with them the greatest weapons of the ancient world, dragons. Aegon Targaryen, later known as Aegon the Conqueror, was born into this dragon lord dynasty. Alongside his sisters, Visenya and Rhaenys, Aegon was raised with the skills and knowledge needed to command these fearsome beasts and to lead men into battle. Before launching his conquest, Aegon carefully surveyed the lands of Westeros. He commissioned the Painted Table, a massive map of the continent, which helped him strategize his campaign. At this time, Westeros was divided into 7 separate kingdoms, each ruled by its own king. It was a land ripe for unification under one ruler. In 2 BC, Aegon Targaryen set his plans into motion. He landed with his forces at the mouth of the Blackwater Rush, establishing a fortification known as Aegon's Fort. This fort would later grow into the city of King's Landing, the future capital of Westeros. It was here, on the western shore of the Blackwater, that Aegon was crowned by his sisters, solidifying his claim to the throne. Aegon's first major challenge came from Harren the Black, the Ironborn king of the Riverlands, who ruled from the formidable fortress of Harrenhal. Despite its massive walls, Harrenhal proved no match for Aegon's dragon, Balerion the Black Dread. Balerion's fire melted the castle, killing Harren and his line. With Harren's death, the Riverlands swiftly submitted to Aegon. Edmund Tully of Riverrun led the River Lords in pledging fealty to the new king. One of the most decisive battles of the conquest was the Battle of the Field of Fire. The combined forces of the Reach and the Westerlands, led by King Mern IX of the Reach and King Loren Lannister of the Rock, faced Aegon's forces. Aegon and his sisters unleashed their dragons, incinerating the enemy. King Mern IX was killed, and King Loren Lannister was forced to surrender. This victory gave Aegon control over the Reach and the Westerlands. Recognizing the futility of resistance, Lord Hightower of Oldtown chose a peaceful submission. The High Septon anointed Aegon in the Starry September, granting his conquest a divine legitimacy. This act solidified Aegon's claim and brought the Reach under his control without further bloodshed. In the Stormlands, King Argilac the Arrogant resisted Aegon's advance. In the Battle of the Last Storm, Aegon's forces triumphed. Argilac was killed, and his daughter refused Aegon's hand in marriage. Instead, she married Orys Baratheon, Aegon's trusted general and rumored half-brother. Orys was granted the Stormlands and founded House Baratheon. In the Vale, Queen Visenya flew her dragon, Vhagar, to the Eyrie. The young lord of the Vale, Ronal Arryn, was so captivated by the dragon that he pledged his fealty in exchange for a ride. The Vale thus came under Aegon's rule without bloodshed. In the north, King Torrhen Stark saw the futility of resisting the dragons. With the trident, he knelt before Aegon, earning the title, the King Who Knelt. This act of submission, the north was peacefully integrated into Aegon's kingdom. However, not all of Westeros was so easily conquered. Dorne, ruled by House Martell, resisted through guerrilla tactics and avoided direct confrontation. Queen Rhaenys was killed during an assault on Sunspear, and Dorne remained unconquered for many years, maintaining its independence. With most of Westeros under his control, Aegon began the construction of King's Landing, which would become the heart of his new realm. To symbolize his authority, he forged the Iron Throne from the swords of his defeated enemies. This throne, a twisted mass of iron, became the ultimate symbol of power in Westeros. Aegon ruled with his sisters by his side, each taking on different roles in governance and defense. He maintained peace and stability through strategic marriages, alliances, and a policy of strong central control while allowing some autonomy to regional lords. His reign set the foundation for Targaryen dominance in Westeros for generations to come. Aegon the Conqueror ruled for 37 years. Upon his death, he was succeeded by his son, Rhaenys. The legacy of Aegon's conquest transformed Westeros, uniting a fractured land under one ruler and forever changing the course of its history. Aegon's conquest was not merely a series of battles and political maneuvers, it was the dawn of a new era. 7 kingdoms were now one, ruled from the Iron Throne, and the legacy of Aegon the Conqueror would shape the destiny of Westeros for centuries to come.